I'm standing barefoot on the porch as snow gathers around my toes, the Christmas lights behind me flashing like quiet mockery. My mother's voice still echoes in my ears, sharp enough to cut through the cold. You can't do anything on your own, Lena. Not a single thing. Then a trash bag filled with who knows what is pushed into my arms. A moment later, my father's hand slams the door so hard the wreath nearly falls, and the lock clicks like a final judgment behind me. Around me, perfectly decorated houses glow with warm dinners, laughter, and families. And there I am, standing in the snow with no coat, no home, and no family willing to claim me. A few neighbors peek through their curtains, pretending they didn't just watch the Carringtons throw their daughter out like yesterday's garbage. My phone has no service. My bank app shows a humiliating balance of $182. The winter wind cuts through my thin sweater, and for the first time in my life, I truly understand what it means to be unwanted. That's when my hand brushes the inside of my coat pocket and touches something solid, cold, metallic. The old black card my grandfather gave me when I was 6, the one he said to use only when I had nowhere else to go. I force my numb feet down the steps toward my car. The snow makes my sandals slippery. I nearly fall twice. The trash bag tears open as I reach the sidewalk. Inside aren't my clothes or documents, nothing that belongs to me, just random junk. A towel stained with bleach, a broken ornament, a half-burned candle. They couldn't even give me my own things. My car groans when I start it, the engine whining like it doesn't want to cooperate. Honestly, I feel the same. I sit in the front seat, my hands shaking so hard the keys rattle. My breath fogs the windshield. The heater barely works, so cold air moves across my face while I stare at the house I grew up in. Now locked behind a door, my parents made sure I could never open again. I replay the scene from 20 minutes earlier. Christmas Eve dinner, burned in the oven because my mother was busy criticizing my posture. My father complained about the cost of the holiday lights. My brother rolled his eyes at everything I said. Then everything broke when I told them I wouldn't co-sign the loan they wanted under my name. Suddenly, I was ungrateful, selfish, a burden. Their words piled up faster than the snow outside. My mother snapped first, calling me a disappointment. My father followed with a shouted, "Get out," that echoed down the hallway. If I hadn't seen it myself, I wouldn't believe how quickly a family could discard someone. They always said I'd come crawling back. But tonight, sitting in my freezing car and staring at their warm windows, something shifts inside me. I don't want to go back, ever. But wanting strength and having options are not the same. My stomach growls, reminding me I haven't eaten since yesterday. It's almost midnight, and my body feels hollow. I search for hotels, but the prices might as well be $1 million. I try calling friends, but my mother spent years quietly isolating me from most of them. Part of me wonders if this moment is exactly what she planned. To leave me so alone, I'd have no choice but to obey forever. I refuse to accept that ending. I drive to a 24-hour diner, the only place I can sit without being asked to leave. The neon sign flickers as I park. The waitress gives me a cautious but sympathetic look as I slide into a booth and order the cheapest coffee on the menu. I hold the cup between my frozen hands like it's the last warm thing in the world. Then, as if it's been waiting for this moment, the black card slips from my pocket and taps softly against the table. I freeze. I remember exactly when my grandfather gave it to me. I was 6, sitting on his lap in the backyard while my parents argued inside. He placed the card in my small hands and whispered, "One day, sweetheart, you'll need this. Use it only when you have no one else." At the time, I told him I would never need it. My parents loved me, or so I believed. The waitress passes by and glances at the card. Her eyes widen slightly before she quickly looks away. "You have one of those?" she murmurs, then walks off like she shouldn't have said anything. I run my thumb over the smooth metal surface. No name, just numbers engraved in gold. It doesn't look like a normal bank card. It looks older, heavier, like a key to something I wasn't meant to open too soon. I pull out my phone, 3% battery, and search for the logo on the corner. Cumberland National Trust. Only one branch nearby opens at 6 in the morning. The building looks like something from an old film, with marble pillars and brass handles, far too refined for someone like me. But the card came from my grandfather. And if there was ever a moment I needed whatever he left me, It's now. My phone dies in my hand. Perfect. I sit there for 2 hours, slowly sipping the same coffee. The waitress refills it twice without charging me, maybe out of pity, or maybe she recognizes someone trying not to fall apart. I keep the card hidden under my hand the entire time, afraid someone might see it, afraid of losing the one thing that might help me. Eventually, exhaustion takes over. I go back to my car and curl up in the back seat, pulling my thin jacket over my knees. The windows fog as my breath turns white. The heater gave up long ago. My fingers go numb first, then my toes. Fear creeps in, the kind only people with nowhere to sleep understand. I think of my grandfather again. His warm hands, his quiet smile, the way he always looked at me like I mattered. Maybe he knew this day would come. Maybe this was his way of preparing me. "Grandpa," I whisper into the cold darkness, "I hope you knew what you were doing." The black card rests against my chest, tucked under my jacket like a borrowed heartbeat. Tomorrow, I'll walk into that bank. Tomorrow, I'll find out if the card is worthless or the one thing that changes everything. For the first time since being thrown into the snow, I feel something faint but steady inside me. Not hope yet, but possibility. And right now, that's enough to get through one more night. Do not let them back into your life. They will continue taking until nothing remains. Use what I've left you to build a life of your own choosing. You have always deserved more than they ever gave you. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you more, but I prepared everything so that when they revealed who they truly are, you would finally understand who you are. Not their child, not their burden, not their failure. My legacy. Henry, I'm shaking so much I can barely hold the letter. For years, I believed I was unwanted, a disappointment, a problem, a burden too heavy for my parents to accept. But none of that was true. They didn't push me away because I lacked value. They pushed me away because they feared what I might inherit, financially and emotionally, what I might learn, and who I might become. The door behind me clicks softly as Elliot steps forward. "There is one more step," he says, his tone steady. "Your grandfather created several layers of protection to access the sealed vault containing the rest of his instructions, legal, financial, and personal. We need your biometric authorization." My head spins. "There's more?" "Yes," he replies, "much more." I look at the black card on the desk, feeling its weight and meaning. My entire life, I believed the version my parents gave me. Today, that version ends and the real one begins. I sit upright, wiping my face. "Show me what he left," I say. Elliot nods and activates the biometric scanner. The screen lights up, waiting for confirmation. Lena walks out of the bank with the red confidential folder held firmly against her chest, snowflakes melting against her sweater. The cold barely registers. Her mind is overwhelmed. $63 million, properties, investments, letters her parents hid. A lifetime of truth uncovered after years of deception. She reaches her car, sits in the driver's seat, and doesn't start the engine. Instead, she grips the steering wheel, head resting forward, trying to process everything. The parking lot blurs behind frosted glass. For a moment, she simply breathes. She isn't broken. She isn't worthless. She isn't what her parents said she was. She has proof. But that proof brings a new question. What now? The black card rests in her pocket. She takes it out, running her thumb over the engraved numbers. Her grandfather knew. He prepared for this. That realization both comforts and unsettles her. After some time, she straightens herself. She won't fall apart here. Not now. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. We need to talk. She blocks it immediately. She starts the car and drives. The farther she moves away from the bank, the more surreal everything feels. The Lena from last night, cold, desperate, alone, is gone. The Lena leaving Cumberland National Trust is different. Not fully secure yet, but no longer someone her parents can control. She pulls into a small cafe she used to visit during college. Warm lights, fogged windows, and the scent of coffee create a calm environment. Inside, everything feels normal. People talking, a decorated tree, quiet routines. She sits in a booth and opens the red folder. The documents are carefully arranged, evidence of a future plan for her. But it isn't complete. Elliot mentioned more. Her phone shows a voicemail from the bank. She listens. "Miss Carrington, this is Elliot. Please return to the branch today. We need to complete estate disclosures with our senior specialist." She exhales. Important is an understatement. 20 minutes later, she's back at the bank. Elliot meets her and introduces her to Marjorie Keene, a senior specialist who managed her grandfather's accounts for over 2 decades. "He spoke about you often," Marjorie says. They move into a private room where documents are already laid out: property reports, legal files, investment summaries, and a locked box. "This was left for you," Marjorie explains. "It requires your authorization and a recorded one from your grandfather." Lena nods. The scanner confirms her identity. The box unlocks. Inside are keys, many of them, each labeled: storage units, properties, commercial spaces, and sealed envelopes. "This is your grandfather's hidden portfolio," Marjorie explains. "He trusted only you." Lena struggles to process it. "They always said he had nothing." "They attempted to take control years ago," Marjorie replies. "When they failed, they changed the narrative." Lena picks up an envelope labeled Atlas Robotics Partnership. "I've heard of this company," she says. "He was an early investor," Marjorie confirms. "He never sold his shares. They now belong to you." The scale of it becomes clear, far beyond the initial figure. Elliot adds quietly, "Your total holdings could reach 8 or even 9 figures." Lena exhales sharply. "They threw me out with a bag of trash." Neither of them responds. They don't need to. Marjorie presents another document. "Your grandfather also created a legal safeguard. If anyone attempts to take your inheritance, legal action begins immediately." She mentions the attorney assigned to her case, Vivian Rhodes. "You should contact her," Marjorie advises. Elliot adds, "Your parents may act once they realize they no longer control you." Lena's phone vibrates again. Another unknown message. "We heard you went to the bank. Call us." Elliot's tone sharpens. "Do not respond." Marjorie reinforces it. "Say nothing." Lena closes the folder. She is still overwhelmed, but not powerless. She stands. "Set the meeting," she says, holding Vivian's card. Elliot nods. As Lena leaves the bank, the situation remains difficult and uncertain, but now she has something clear: direction. She sits in her car outside the cafe, holding Vivian's card. The folder beside her contains more truth than she has ever known. Still, she feels physically drained. After 2 nights without rest, her body struggles to keep up. She steps out of the car, but her balance falters. A man catches her before she falls. "Easy. Are you all right?" he asks calmly. She insists she's fine. He disagrees and guides her inside. He introduces himself as Dr. Marcus Hale, a cardiologist. He orders water and juice, ensuring she stabilizes. "Do you have someone you can call?" he asks. "Not family," she replies. He doesn't press further. Instead, he focuses on what she needs now: food, rest, stability. When she admits she slept in her car, his tone shifts. "Are you safe now?" She hesitates. "I don't know." He nods, understanding the situation without judgment. "Tell me what you need." No one has asked her that before. "I need time to think," she says. "Then we start there," he replies. He ensures she eats and regains some strength. Before leaving, he gives her his number. "If you need help, call me," he says. She thanks him and leaves. Back in her car, she notices a voicemail from Vivian confirming an urgent meeting. For the first time in years, she feels a small but real sense of strength. Not complete, but present. The next morning, her phone is filled with missed calls and messages from unknown sources. The tone is aggressive: accusations, demands, threats. She forwards everything to Vivian, who responds immediately. "Block all contacts. Do not engage." This is escalation. Lena understands the shift. Her parents are no longer trying to control quietly. They are acting openly. She prepares to leave, but notices a gray sedan nearby, the same one from before. It remains stationary, watching. Her instincts sharpen. She locks her car and calls Vivian. "They hired a private investigator," Vivian confirms. "Document everything." Lena drives, but the car follows. She contacts Marcus, who stays on the phone until she reaches a safe location. At Vivian's office, the situation becomes clear. Legal action begins immediately: restraining orders, formal complaints, and documentation. Then comes the next development. Her parents have filed a legal petition claiming she is mentally unfit to manage her assets. Lena reads the document. The language mirrors everything they told her growing up. "They prepared this narrative over time," Vivian explains. Lena sees it clearly now. The hearing moves forward. Evidence is presented: medical records, surveillance footage, letters, and proof of manipulation. The judge denies the petition. A restraining order is issued. Further investigation is recommended. Outside the courtroom, Lena processes the outcome. It's a step forward, but not the end. Marcus reassures her. Vivian confirms the legal path ahead. As Lena prepares to leave, a new message appears. Enjoy your freedom while it lasts. The threat is clear, but her response is clearer. Her parents started this conflict. Now she understands how to respond, and she is no longer facing it alone. Assistants rushed in with urgency. Something had clearly shifted overnight, something important. Vivian opened the door before we even had the chance to knock. Good, you're both here? Come in. She looked more serious than usual, which already said a lot. I sat down while Marcus stayed standing nearby, leaning against the bookshelf like a quiet shield. Vivian didn't waste any time. The private investigator your parents hired was arrested this morning? I blinked. Arrested? For trespassing, tampering with private mail, attempted coercion, and tracking your vehicle without consent. I stared at her, completely stunned. He confessed to everything, she continued, and he's already given names. Your parents paid him in cash through a separate account to avoid any paper trail. My stomach dropped. So they're caught? Vivian raised a hand. It's not that simple. The PI is cooperating to reduce his sentence, but he's also claiming your parents were tipped off about your inheritance months ago. Marcus shifted behind me. From who? Someone inside the bank, Vivian replied. Someone who broke confidentiality rules. We're working with the bank now to trace the source. I gripped the chair tightly. So this had been planned from the start, the moment they suspected I had anything valuable. My throat tightened. And throwing me out? That was part of it too. Vivian nodded grimly. They needed you vulnerable. They needed control over the narrative. If you looked unstable or homeless, they could argue you were unfit to manage assets. It was all calculated. They were trying to push you into a corner, to take back what they believed belonged to them. I covered my face with my hands. Marcus stepped closer, resting a steady hand on my chair. So what do we do now? Vivian gestured to a stack of files. We go on offense, she said sharply. We file for a permanent restraining order, harassment charges, and a civil lawsuit for damages, including emotional distress, stalking, defamation, and attempted asset theft. We also open a criminal negligence case. My eyes widened. All of that? All of it, Vivian confirmed. We overwhelm them legally before they can regroup. She handed me another document stamped by the county court. There's more, she added quietly. The judge has expedited your emergency protection request under the Family Harassment and Abuse Act. He reviewed the PI's arrest report. I swallowed hard. So what does that mean? It means the court believes you're in danger, she said, and they're moving quickly to protect you. It felt surreal, like the system I never trusted was finally standing on my side. Then I asked quietly, will they go to jail? Vivian's expression hardened. If this continues, yes. Marcus exhaled, relief and anger mixing. Good. Vivian studied me. Lena, are you ready for that possibility? I fell silent. The idea of my parents in jail, part of me recoiled. They were still my parents. But another part of me, the part they tried to break, knew the truth. Yes, I whispered, I'm ready. Vivian nodded. Then we moved forward. The room felt focused, controlled, like a plan was finally forming. Hours later, Marcus drove me back to the hotel. The wind shook the windshield. I felt drained, hollow, but steadier than before. Vivian had a strategy. The judge believed me. The PI confessed. And Marcus? He had become a constant I didn't know I needed. In the parking lot, he turned serious. You shouldn't stay here tonight. I started to protest, but he cut me off calmly. It isn't safe. He told me someone had left a package at my door yesterday, meaning they knew where I stayed. A chill ran through me. He gently insisted I come to his place just for one night because it had security cameras, a doorman, and safety. My heart tightened, not only from fear but from something unfamiliar. I don't want to be a burden, I whispered. He stepped closer. You're not a burden. You're someone I care about. My breath caught as he held out his hand. For the first time, I chose safety instead of fear and took it. At his apartment, warm light and quiet comfort greeted me. Everything felt lived in, safe, real. He showed me the guest room, mentioning it even had a lock I could control. And that detail hit harder than expected. I whispered thank you, but he said I didn't need to thank him for wanting me safe. He brought me tea, and I sat on the couch watching the snow fall outside, feeling the world quiet in a way I hadn't experienced in a long time. Marcus sat beside me, giving me space. We talked about everything Vivian had revealed, about my parents' plans, about what hurt the most. I admitted I had always thought I was the problem, that if I tried harder, I would finally be loved. Marcus told me gently that it wasn't love, it was control, that I didn't deserve any of it. I asked him why I wasn't enough, and he said it was never about me. Then he asked what I wanted my life to look like after all this. The question hit me deeply because no one had ever asked it before. I didn't know how to answer. He simply said, maybe it was time to start imagining it. Later, at the guest room doorway, I asked why he was doing all this. He told me it was because I deserved protection, and because he cared about me more than he expected. Something unspoken passed between us. I asked him to stay for a moment, and he did, sitting quietly beside me until I finally slept. I woke to morning light and the smell of coffee, but also a message from my mother saying I had made a mistake. My stomach dropped as I sent it to Vivian. She responded immediately, we needed to meet. Something had changed again. Marcus read the message and said they were escalating, but this time we would face it together. And for the first time, that word didn't feel like danger. It felt like hope.